All right, so there's a way to start a business that'll generate 20K per month, 10 times faster than the traditional path of learning a skill and building an agency. You see, the normal way takes around 2 years. You learn a skill, you get good at it, you build a portfolio, then you fight for clients and compete with everyone else. But the business model I'm about to share with you can make you 20 to 40K per month in less than 90 days. You spend 2 weeks learning which AI tools solve which business problems. Then you go and install those tools inside of businesses that need them but don't have the time to figure it out themselves. Because if you look around, every business is trying to crack how to use AI right now. They know it could save them 6 figures per year, but they just don't know where to start. And that's where you come in as the bridge that ties where they are now and where they'd like to be. You've probably seen people making 15 to 30K a month selling AI implementation to businesses all over the internet. But what I'm about to show you will help you get there 10 times faster than they did. And before I tell you more, I need to show you proof that everything that I'm saying is not BS. One of my students, Luke, got his first $12,000 sale within 2 weeks of starting, plus a $5,000 monthly retainer, and he had 0 AI experience before that. Billy went from a $1,500 a month retainer to landing a $20,000 project in just 2 weeks. And Steven signed his first client for $9,500 in 6 weeks. And for me, I made over $350,000 in the last 12 months doing the exact same thing. So here's how this whole model works, why it's 10 times faster, and how you can start doing this in the next 90 days. You see, every business knows AI exists. They're hearing about it everywhere, they see competitors using it, and they know it could save them money. But knowing AI exists and knowing how to implement it are two completely different things. Your local real estate agent knows AI could help them follow up with leads faster, but they just don't know which tool to use or how to set it up. The dental practice knows AI could help with appointment booking, but they don't have the time to figure out which platform does that. The law firm knows AI could speed up their intake process, but they have no idea how to actually make that happen. So there's this gap. Businesses desperately need AI implementation, and AI tools already exist to solve their problems. But the difference between businesses that need AI and the people who are actually fulfilling that need is bigger than you think, regardless of how saturated the AI industry you may think it is. And here's the data that shows this. There are 33.2 million small businesses in the United States right now. 68% of those businesses are already using AI in at least one function, meaning they've heard about it, they know it exists, and they're experimenting with ChatGPT or some basic tool. But here's where it gets interesting. Only 9.7% of US firms actually report using AI in their production process. That means they're using it to actually run parts of their business, not just playing around with it. And 42% of small businesses say they don't have the resources or expertise needed to successfully deploy AI. 60% of those businesses cite a lack of expertise in applying AI to their specific business. So let me break that down for what that actually means for you. 33.2 million businesses exist. Let's say only 10% of them could actually benefit from AI implementation in a meaningful way. That's still 3.3 million potential clients. All you need is 10 clients out of 3.3 million potential businesses. That's 0.0003% of the market. So that proves once again that the market isn't saturated at all. So why won't you get a piece of that pie? And that doesn't mean you need to be building AI from scratch or to become a developer. You're just the implementation specialist. You say, here's your problem, here's the tool how to solve it, let me install it for you. It's really that simple. And businesses will pay $5,000 to $15,000 to do that because it saves them way more than that in labor costs. Now, let me break down exactly what you're selling. You find businesses that deal with high volume customer interactions. Businesses like real estate agencies, dental practices, law firms, HVAC, solar companies, stuff like that. You identify their expensive problems, which is usually one of these three things. Number one is lead qualification and follow-up. They're losing 30 to 40% of leads because they cannot respond fast enough. Number two is appointment scheduling and reminders. Their front desk is overwhelmed with handling this manually, and they also have customer service inquiries. They spend hours answering the same questions over and over again. Then you come in, install AI systems that automate those processes and solve those problems for them. For lead qualification, you set up an AI voice agent or an SMS bot that contacts every lead within 60 seconds, asks qualifying questions, and books appointment automatically. For customer service, you set up an AI chatbot, answer common questions 24/7 without human interaction. And this is just gonna save these business owners so much time. And when it comes to content, you can set up systems that create posts on social and email sequence based on their expertise. You interview them, ask them a few questions, and build it from there. For this, you can charge $5,000 for each system you install, and you can charge $1,500 to $3,000 a month to maintain it. So if you install just 4 systems for one business, that's $20,000 up front and $6,000 per month ongoing. And the cool thing is that you only need 7 clients at $1,500 per month to hit $10,000 per month recurring. That's pretty much how this model works. Now, let me show you the timeline comparison if you're going for a traditional service business path. In months 1 to 12, you learn the skills like Facebook ads, copywriting, design, and you're grinding until you get decent at it. Months 13 are where you build a portfolio and work for cheap or even free to get testimonials and get your business off the ground. And in months 19 to 24, you're spending them figuring out sales, ads, content, outreach, all of those kinds of things. You essentially go through all that trial and error until something works. That's 2 years before you hit $10,000 a month consistently. Now, on the other side, AI implementation looks completely different. In the first 2 weeks, you learn which AI tools solve which specific problem. And I need to address this because this is the stage too many people stay stuck for far too long. You don't have to master anything. All that you're doing is learning if business has this problem, you use this tool. In 2 to 3 weeks, you build a demo system that shows exactly how to solve that problem. Essentially, you set up a lead bot or a chat bot, you test it, you break it, and just figure out how it works. Weeks 5 to 8 are all about starting conversations with businesses and making them aware of their problems. Think of it like planting seeds. You're not explicitly offering a solution, rather making it obvious that there's a solution that exists, aka AI, that solves all of these issues. And then in weeks 9 and 12, that's where most people sign their first client for between 5 to 10K and $1,500 to $3,000 a month retainer. And then you do that until you hit the last stage, which is months 4 to 6, and this is where you close 2 to 3 more clients. You duplicate the same systems and each one gets better and better so you can raise your prices in the process. By month 3, you're at $10,000 per month, and by month 6, you're at $20 to $40K per month. And I know it's easier said than done, but here's why this is so much faster than the SMMA path you've probably heard hundreds of times from your coaches. Number 1, you're learning tool implementation that takes days instead of mastering a skill that takes years. 2, you stop competing on expertise and start selling outcomes. People just want their problem solved because in reality, businesses don't care if you're an AI expert. All they care is if you can save them $100,000 per year or not. It's really that simple. And 3, finally, you don't have to build a different system for every client that you sign. Like you have to do when you're doing marketing or doing things like that. You have to build these systems from scratch. Build the system once and then duplicate it for the next client. And that's why this is 10 times faster. Now, if that sounds complicated, here's a simple way to think about it. You know how people pay someone to come set up their smart home? You know, install the Ring doorbell, install Alexa, make sure all the lights work together, set up the Wi-Fi, connect everything, and just make it all work. That person didn't invent Ring, they didn't invent Alexa, and they didn't create the light bulbs or the Wi-Fi. All they did was figure out which product solved which problem and learn how to connect all of them together. And they get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to install something that takes them 2 hours but would have taken the homeowner 2 weeks to figure out. And that's exactly what you're doing for these businesses with AI. You're not inventing anything, you're just learning which tools solve which problems and how to install them. Businesses know they need AI, they just don't have the time to figure out which tools do what and how to make them all work together with their current system. You become that person and they'll pay you thousands of dollars to do it because it saves them thousands of dollars every single month. But here's the catch, if you don't do this, someone else will. That someone might have less experience or even be in a worse position than you're in right now. They're going to figure this out, take action, and build that 20 to 40K per month business. And while you're still thinking about it, whether you should do it or not, they'll be the ones putting cash in their pockets. So my question for you is, what do you want? Do you want to be the person who took advantage of this opportunity while it was wide open? Or do you want to be the person who watched this happen and did nothing? Businesses are out there, the tools exist, and the demand is real. But if you let thoughts like AI is oversaturated control your decisions, you've already lost. And although I don't know you personally, I'd hate that to be you. Because it reminds me of how lost I was before I discovered this opportunity. Sitting at home, banging my head against the wall, trying to figure out the fastest path to making real money without having to fight for shittier retainers and being compared to everyone else. And that's why I put together a free training that breaks down exactly how to capitalize on this AI gold rush. Inside, I walk you through the exact tools you should use, how to find clients, how to package your offer, and how to actually implement these systems step by step. It's the same blueprint I used to make $350,000 in the last 12 months, and the same blueprint my students use to close their first $10,000 to $20,000 deals within weeks. So if you don't want to be one that is left behind in this opportunity, I'll leave a link in the description to the free training and I'll see you there.